Who's the one with the dogs? Yeah. So probably I was not. So this is not everything to be said. So this can be challenged, but there can also be remarks added, of course, because it's. I was asked to do this presentation 2 weeks ago, so I turned into the literature on it, but probably you also can contribute something. Is it all recognizable from the perspective of science? Okay, and then would you give
it's
some?
It's a different situation because, and that's quite real, and you have a direct experience with phenomena. I think that's quite different with the mathematics aspect.
Yeah, so inquiry skills are more explicit, connected in doing experiments, and everybody agrees that that is part of the curriculum and that's important to learn how to do it. Yeah, yeah. So that is a bit different. Okay, Anna, you had a...
Yeah, I had a different question on, as I was listening about diversity, I was wondering, and I really like this change from heterogeneous to opportunities. I was wondering if it's kind of in line with Eric Whitman concept of natural individualization, and if you made any connection, because it felt to me like a perfect environment for this kind of thing.
So the concept of natural individualization?
Or even maybe natural differentiation, he said. So just shortly, the idea is that the tasks themselves can be solved in different levels, just the equations, let's say, or some patterns between equations could be found, and then you do not split the group, the class into groups, but just each one goes to the level which is fitting to him. And I thought, yeah, I was wondering, because it feels like inquiry-based education could also be considered from this perspective.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. It sounds rather related. Natural differentiation.
Yes, yeah, I checked recently if there is
Whitman?
and there is not, but there is some recent paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's well. What we try to achieve is in a way very related. That you have tasks or resources that can be used on different levels, and that everybody has a starting level, but it also provides opportunities for the more talented ones to go, higher. That already qualifies what you, how you could differentiate, but to go into directions that challenge them, while the others also can go into directions that challenge them on their own level. Is that related?
Like working within a group on a problem, some of the students will do more of inquiry, and then they will probably kind of teach more professionally, because for whom it's more difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that can be an option, and but I know that one of our colleagues, Maarten Dolk, he often says, warns that when you create heterogeneous groups, be sure that they can talk with each other and that the differences are not too big, because then they cannot really explain, they will not be able to explain or get frustrated when their explanations don't arrive. But it's important, it's already what Freudenthal also emphasized, the importance of heterogeneous groups and let them work together and learn from each other. And also something that we experience with for instance, with the mathematics in teams, with the Olympiad, that when you create groups, that there can be students that are really good in reporting, and others that are good in the mathematics, in going into the formulas, while others are, can be in intermediate. And so letting students experience that they, as a group, that all these roles are important to move forward and to communicate, that's an important experience, I think, in general.
Already about diversity education.
Yeah.
I think it's also very nice to see in the enlargement task that you discussed that some students only find out that if you double the sizes, then the area goes with 4. And others, they find more results, but perhaps only for squares. They only find out that if you make the size of a square, k times as large, but it's k. And then more talented students find it for more types of polygons. And then even more talented students find a proof of the statement in those situations. So, and we saw the whole range of it in those classes. So that's definitely natural differentiation coming from just one simple task.
I have the feeling it's like many political debates. It is not a discussion about facts, but it's all about emotions, and these emotions are based on beliefs of people, and it's very hard to change that. And I think it's easier. I mean, the advocates of direct instruction, they have an easier task. Their ideas are more to the natural ideas of people about teaching, and so it's almost impossible to win the discussion.
Yeah, but we also need to be fair about what might be achieved with this kind of approach, with the available teachers that are there, and with the available resources that we can design. So I know that Theo Wibbels also had as a critical remark on realistic mathematics education for the primary schools. He said, yeah, what you want is really nice, but you need the kind of teachers in primary schools that are mathematically well equipped to be able to see what the students are doing and to be able to build on that. And we don't have these teachers.
We do have to be realistic about that. I mean, of course, there are...
So it's not only about emotions, it's also about reality.
Sure. But, so we do have to be realistic. I mean, in primary education, teachers have to teach everything. So you're not able to convince a whole school with all the teachers to go into the inquiry-based teaching. But it is a pity that those teachers who are able to do that and who would like to do that do not have the opportunity to do that, because they have to teach by the books that are chosen by their school, which may be Getallenruimte Junior or something like that.
Do they have to? They don't have to.
Well, I think it is expected in almost all schools that all teachers do the same thing, use the same books. It will be very hard to do not to do that. But okay, we have to explore that. I mean, it would be nice to have teachers who want to do that, and I've seen that in Kathy Vosno is working with teachers, and then some of the schools, the teachers, they work with her materials, where others are just stick to their traditional textbooks. I mean, in such a situation, you can have very nice teaching in some classes, and well, just a bit more traditional in the other classes. But it will so realistic you have to be. I mean, it's not something for everything. For everyone.
It's funny that you mentioned nice and traditional.
Well, I said it's about beliefs.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Some thoughts about Michael Swan has made all kinds of lessons in the Maas Shell Center.
Yeah.
And he uses exploration as a start of his lessons, and they are very structured then. And he makes it possible to make to give students tools how to explore. So you don't have to tell them how you have to do it, but you need tools, thinking tools, to do some exploration. So we have probably to teach them how to. And then probably the domain we are working for the students at the moment is so large that only struggle, give them maybe some extra, but they don't feel that they really succeed. So probably make the domain of inquiring or exploration much smaller to make some success possible for them, and that probably explain the thoughts of students. They already work very hard, they have already problems, even with direct instructions, to make some successes. So when we tell them just explore and nice, you get a little bit further, but they don't experience it themselves. So I think make the domain smaller and give them some tools how to explore.
Yeah.
And well, that's one thing. And the other thing was about the IBL. You much in the talk was linked to the diversity, but maybe without the diversity, it's easier to discuss it, because that's something extra. I think it's a good selling point how to deal with diversity for the next couple of years. And probably this will have some potential, but at the moment we have to discuss without diversity what's helping us and the student helping us the IBL at the moment.
Yeah. For the first question, I totally agree with you, and for that reason, this paper was this. Yeah, I really like to see these different kinds of guidance. So what I also recognize in this work of Malcolm Swan is that it's a combination of process constraints where so they don't need to do everything a full cycle, but only do work on defining or work on systematic work on some kind of task, and in connection often with some kind of heuristics and scaffold. So a combination of the two to make it more feasible to implement it, and that's. Prevent to become too specific, I would say. But think carefully about the kind of guidance and don't make it too big, but focus very carefully. I think that's really important. Yeah, and the second remark about diversity. So you think don't focus too much on diversity?
Well, if you
in connection with the discussion?
No. People about direct instruction. How do direct instruction deal with diversity?
They don't need to, because everybody follows the same recipe, and well, probably no. They deal. That's now I'm joking. When you look at, there are different models of this direct instruction, and there is always a phase where students are going to work, and then the teacher can walk around and give level support. So give some extra support to students that need extra additional explanation or another more simple example. And so that's the way how it's implemented in the model of direct instruction.
Would it be an idea to continue the discussion while taking it in?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
People probably have to leave in not too long. But can we still talk, Andrew?
Let's
Yeah, sure.
officially thank Michiel.
Yes.